Hello, everyone, and welcome back down here to the Gamer's Den with me, your host, Jordan, your master of lore and storyteller extraordinaire. So, for today's look at fixing the D20 modern game, we are, of course, going on with our fix for the Road Warrior Advanced class. And as I mentioned before, Road Warrior wasn't as bad as some of these other classes. It's still not great, but there's at least a little bit of synergy between some of the class abilities, at least as originally written. But I really do believe they didn't do as much for you as they really could. And so today we're going to go over those particular fixes. And starting off, we look at the requirements, the skills, and all the other numerical bonuses that you get from going into this class. And for the most part, I've left everything the same. The requirements, that +2 base attack bonus, the craft skill, the driving skill, 4 and 6 ranks respectively. The only thing I really changed here was with the class skills, and that was largely with condensing some of the skills down, like perception, for example, taking spot, listen, and search, and just cramming that all into one nice, neat little skill there. Really, that's the biggest change here. Where most of the changes have been made, as per usual, is in the class abilities. Your That's really where a lot of the fixes need to happen. So going into it, first level we have free driving. Kicks in at level 1, of course. The Road Warrior has perfected the skill of combat while behind the wheel of a vehicle. They are able to make drive checks for free with any ground vehicle. Stunts still require a move action, but receive a +2 competence bonus. So this this just kind of, well, recall last time around I had said that the level 10 ability that was originally put in for Road Warrior felt like a level 1 ability. Well, that's what I've done here. I've taken that level 10 ability and put it back into level 1, and it now gives a +2 competence bonus to your drive checks, specifically for stunts. And stunts are things like power sliding, drifting, hitting a jump, uh, getting your car to spin or otherwise turn and safely landing it in some fashion. Some crazy movie nonsense is basically what you're going to be able to accomplish with vehicle stunts using your drive checks. And then at level 2, we have Calm, Cool, Collected. The Road Warrior becomes better at retaining control of their vehicles in difficult situations, rolling a 2d20 on drive checks and taking the better result. And this implies to those stunts. So, right there, in the first two levels, the class abilities already have some synergies between them, getting you a +2 bonus on your drive checks, and then allowing you to roll 2d20 to take the better result. Now, with base D20 for the modern system, it is possible for you to just stack some stupidly ridiculous bonuses together for your skills. I mean, my friends and I had done this quite a bit, but I still like this as an ability. I think this is sufficient as an advanced class ability. This works really well. For the bonus feats at 3rd, 6th, and 9th level, I've left that all the same. Those are fine. I like the variety and diversity that you get out of this particular list of feats that you take for your character. So these are perfectly good as is. But going on from those different feat selections, we have the level 4 ability Shot on the Move. Now the Road Warrior is able to time their attacks. They may make a full attack at any point along their vehicle's movement. If they perform a stunt, they may make an attack at any point during the stunt. The reason for this is, since driving is basically already a free action, that's not affecting your action economy in any way. That's not affecting the pool of actions you're normally able to take. So now you can make a full attack action, meaning if you're just driving along, say in a relatively straight path, or you're just making a nice easy curve or turn, well, that's not going to require too much of you. That's a free action. That's a basic driving check, even if you're going at higher speeds. So if you have two attacks, you can make both of those attacks. But if you do a stunt like drifting, power sliding, something that requires skill, time, and focus and effort on your character's part, you can make one attack action because you're still making a move action. So since that move action's in place there, you're only able to make one single attack. But then we go to the level 5 ability, and that's skillful boarding. I've rewritten this one so that the road warrior gains a bonus to climb and jump checks equal to their level for jumping between moving vehicles. So when you go and move and latch onto another vehicle, you will have that bonus to whatever climb check is required to moving up. It makes sense, especially if you're going for that post apocalyptic feel, and even if you're going more Fast and the Furious, specifically the first one where they're boarding the trucks and they're assaulting the drivers. This fits for that pretty well because you do have to kind of clamber your way up a moving vehicle, which, despite whatever the movies show, is I'm sure is quite a bit more difficult going along at highway speeds between that 60, 70, and 80 mile an hour range. And then for our level 7 ability, we have Off-Roader. This one has also been rewritten. The Road Warrior's off-roading skills become finely honed. Their check and roll modifier for the vehicle speed category isn't doubled when a Road Warrior drives off-road. Any speed penalties for driving through difficult terrain are reduced by half on successful drive checks. The drive check penalty for the type of terrain still applies, so depending on the severity of the rain, the ice and rain, or whatever loose, crappy, terrible terrain you may be driving on that your vehicle cannot get as good of a grip on, that will still apply. But the penalties that you get from whatever speeds you may be driving at are significantly reduced by this ability here, which again makes sense, as whether it's in a modern day setting or post apocalyptic. You're playing a character who is used to driving through these harsh conditions. You're used to driving like a madman. So you should be comfortable in, your character should be comfortable in that kind of a situation just by repeated exposure to it. They know exactly what to do and how to get things done. And level 8, I've actually left in place. Level 8 is collision control. This was a good ability all the way around. I really like it, actually. The Road Warrior recognizes the strong and weak points of different vehicles when it comes to ramming them. The Road Warrior may treat the smallest vehicle involved in the collision as if it were one size category larger or smaller for the purposes of dealing damage. The Road Warrior may use this ability even if they didn't initiate the collision. So this is perfect. I mean, lots of ramming attacks happen. It makes sense. Side swiping, pit maneuvers, just flat out T-boning another vehicle. Makes sense that the Road Warrior would understand just how to really maximize their vehicle's impact and really hit home and hit hard. And then for the level 10 ability, we have Master of the Wheel. The Road Warrior has perfected the art of pushing their vehicles to the limit. Any stunts they attempt have their DCs reduced by 5. Anytime their vehicle suffers a critical hit, the Road Warrior may make a fortitude save to instead make it a regular attack, DC being 10 plus whatever damage is dealt. If their vehicle suffers enough damage to destroy it, they may make a fortitude save to instead keep 1 hit point in place and keep the vehicle running. But otherwise, the vehicle suffers all negative effects. So if it's driving slower, it's still going to drive slower. If it's lost doors, armor, any weapons mounted to it, those are all still gone as a result of whatever attack or series of attacks may have ripped and torn them away. But the vehicle still runs, and sometimes that's really all you need to survive, is the vehicle to just hold on long enough for you to get to where you need to go. This particular part of the effect cannot be used again until the vehicle is fully repaired, which makes sense. I mean, you can't exactly repeatedly keep the vehicle going, and this part is definitely a one-time in an encounter use, because unless you have a crap ton of magic available to you to just instantly repair and pull the car back together, and it would still require you to have some kind of material or parts, depending on the severity of the damage, in order for that magic to really take enough hold for you to restore enough hit points. You're going to need to make repairs just for your vehicle to keep running. And if you're in a no magic setting, well, this just makes even more sense, really, if you think about it. But with that said, we're going to go ahead and call it here. I hope you enjoyed the fix. If you did, go on down into the comments below. Let me know what you thought. Hit the like button, or even if you don't like what you see here, or if you have other ideas for class abilities that might work out well, share them down below. I'm all about engaging in the discussion, exchanging ideas, and all of that. I really do love trying to take the time to do it, at least, when I can, as often as I can. And also, if you did enjoy today's video and you want to see more, well, YouTube's got a couple popping up over here. One is something the almighty Google rhythm has decided is well worth your time. The other is something else I've done recently here that you may also enjoy. Or if this has not been your first stop here at the Gamers Den, well then go on down there, hit the subscribe button, and become a regular member. Be notified the next time I upload more content here to the channel. But with that said, I've been your host, Jordan, your master of lore and storyteller extraordinaire. Thank you all so very much for your time, and you all have yourselves a good night.